Jason couldn't remember to ask them to state their name this week, so I could get in.
I think we're live. I call this meeting to order. Let's start with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And to the
and to the
republic
republic
which
for which it stands,
one nation,
one
under
nation
God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with liberty and
justice
justice for all. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of this community. In your name we pray. Amen.
Okay, the only thing I have is next month's meeting will be on Tuesday
Got
instead
that.
of Monday.
Got that.
I'll get second rank. That looks good.
That's all I got. I'll let you take it over.
All right. We're gonna start off with the Du Bois County Bombers. Representative is Justin Knapp. If you want to come up, state your name, everybody you're with. Yes.
Oh, I'll get them, I'll get them.
Justin and I had a phone conversation along with Kinley, and he had some concerns over the contract, and we asked him to come today to represent those to you guys.
I appreciate your guys' time and thank you. And joining me is Mike Ubler, who I think you guys know. So Mike's still involved with the team, the Bombers as well. And he asked to join and I said, great. So, as I had some conversations with some of you individually and with Jace, the first thing I'll say is that we really appreciate and value our partnership with the city and the Parks Department. And I mean it when I say that, we really do. That said, when we received the lease renewal, the contract, what's been 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was definitely a lot of sticker shock with an 80% increase for this coming year. And then 2 years after that, what would be 100% increase. And so at first I thought, well, maybe I'm overreacting a little bit. And I think context matters, as I was telling Jay. So I called a lot of the other owners in our league, the Prospect League, to better understand how their leases are structured, because the majority of them are working with cities. They're leasing their stadiums as well. And again, depending on how you would want to look at it, with the lease increase that we're talking about, it would make League Stadium, the Du Bois County Bombers, it would be the highest priced lease in our entire league. And we are the smallest market in the league by far. And so, as I was telling Jace, as well, I think the difference of why I'm hoping you guys will reconsider is we've always been a team and an organization that gives back, not just to the community, but into the stadium. So we've spent a significant amount of our own dollars to reinvest back into the stadium in a variety of ways, from the upper deck area, which originally was a project that Mike spearheaded in 2019, 2020. When we took over the team, we inherited that bank note. We're still paying it off, but we've never been a team or an organization that just wants to take and not give back. And so what I'm asking for is for you guys to reconsider. I want to answer any guys' questions you have. And the thing that I want to make very, very clear, we're not asking for anything for free. We're not even asking for the lease to stay the same. If you think the lease is undervalued, we just want you to gradually step it up, which is what is much more common. If you look at some of the data points, like the average rent escalation for commercial lease spaces, which is essentially what we are, it's anywhere between 3 and 4% on average, right? So my understanding is the current lease that we're coming off of is a 4-year lease, right? So even if you were to go on the high end of that of 5%, over the last 4 years, a 20% increase is something that would be high, but that we would look at a lot more reasonably. We have to be able to budget, right? So this is a big fixed annual cost for us. And so with such a significant increase, it's going to force us to make some difficult financial decisions The obvious one being that we would need to probably raise ticket prices, and we have low ticket prices. We always have. We don't want to do that. And so again, I want to open it up for discussion. I have a couple of pricing options that I think are much more reasonable and fair. But before we go over that, I would love to answer any questions you guys have and facilitate any discussions.
These are leases. Are these just lease examples? Is that, what are we looking
No,
at here? Okay.
so, Kinley and I dug into, to see some examples of leases. After he brought that up, we wanted to make sure that we were in the ballpark of what we were asking. And those are three of the same teams that are in the same league. And the first one is like top of the line. I think it's Lafayette, and it's like 100,000 a year, to use it.
For the whole year. They have the stadium for the whole year. I mean, just to be clear. So it's not just seasonal, which would be, essentially the equivalent of about 10 weeks for us, 9 to 10 weeks.
Let's see.
So it's $100,000. I don't know. We're looking at this for the first time, so.
They may rent it out to tournaments. The stadium that would probably be the most comparable to ours, and not that we're trying to compare to every other stadium, but the one in Danville, Illinois, right? And they've filmed movies there. It's a wooden grandstand. It's like ours. It's very similar to ours. My understanding is the city owns it. They pay $1 for the lease. We're not looking for $1. Again, we're not even saying, hey, you please keep it the same. Like, we're willing to increase it. We just want it to be more gradual so that we can budget for it. Again, especially looking at the data of knowing what the average commercial rent lease escalation is, 80% is just significant. Like, it's just a lot. And so, again, willing to pay more every year. It doesn't have to be a flat rate for the next 2 years or 3 years. You guys will dictate the terms, but I'm just saying every year. But again, just asking to do it gradually so that we can budget for it.
I say, we threw these in here so that you guys would have some data to kind of look at, and we actually have a picture on the back of these of what the stadium actually looks like. I wanted to make sure you guys had all the data to make the best.
So obviously, we're looking at pages and pages of documents that we are first seeing. For the first, can you sum it up for us, like what your findings are? I don't want to be. Well, this one.
So yes, I wasn't going into this thinking that you guys were going to make a decision tonight.
Oh, okay.
I wanted you to get his side, get his information. You get the information that I've collected with Kinley, and then maybe come back the following meeting and make a decision on it. So, and if you need more contracts, we can reach out to more people too.
So, like Lafayette is in your league.
So
Mhm.
it's probably like 25% or like what?
Very different stadiums, obviously a much larger market. And again, it's not an apples to apples comparison because they're also renting it out for the entire year.
This
They
one,
have
They have
ownership of it.
control of it and they can make
Mhm.
this
money
one,
from it.
Yeah.
this one, and
So what's E and G? Is that in our league? Is even E and G baseball? All of those contracts are. They're all in our.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to even find where
Yeah,
they're.
so I
pricing it.
think the one that Kinley and I kind of agreed was probably closest was the Alton, right?
The two, Lafayette was on, Lafayette probably has the best stadium in the league from what we found.
Yeah.
But it is the highest, probably the highest end stadium.
I
in the
mean,
entire league.
the top 5, but no. I mean, the stadium in Marion, the stadium in Jackson, 2 of the stadiums used to be minor league ballparks. And again, it's not an apple. I can appreciate wanting to compare to some of those other stadiums, and certainly please do that. But again, it's not going to be an apples to apples comparison given how they use it, and also like what's included. And I don't know what you're looking at, but for example, some of the other leases will include field managers, as part of that. They include, cleaning, and these are all essentially costs that we incur on our end. And again, I know I'm being repetitive saying this, but I cannot stress it enough. I'm not up here saying, hey, please keep it the same. We're willing to pay more, but 80% is significant. Imagine you were renting a house in an apartment, right? And the landlord came back wanting to increase it by 80%. It's a lot, right? So it doesn't need to be a fixed increase over the next several years. It can be an incremental increase. And I think that shows us wanting to continue to be good tenants and good partners.
I mean, my main comment would be, and I think most of you were maybe around, but 15, 16, back in the late 90s when there were Dragons and Bombers and it was owned from nobody outside this area. I think New York City guy owned it. And there were nobody at those, there was nobody at those games. There was nothing being put in the stadium. It was kind of just falling apart. And, once Mike and Mary had the, thought to round up a bunch of locals, 15 years ago, ever since then, I think every single year since then, they have added something to the stadium as an upgrade, an addition, whether it was upgrading the concessions or the bathrooms or, adding the upper deck. And that makes this agreement, I would say, very different from any kind of lease or event or anything that we do, because everybody else that come in annually for contracts or event agreements, they come and go, they come in every year and they go. But their intent is not to continue to build it and give us something permanent to work from. So with that in mind, I would just like to say that this really needs to be thought of as on a whole different type of situation, because it always has been, and it really always should be a partnership between us and the Bombers, because we all benefit from the crowds that are brought in and the companies that have their corporate events. And, like I said, go back 15 years ago when I was the Bomber players age, more than that, actually, in the late 90s, it was me and my friends at the games. And now it is the place to be in the summer. And that is something that we need to consider, that this is a big part of tourism, a big part of what there is to do this summer, and a big part of our city. It's probably the best use of all of our parks that we have going for us. So
I appreciate you saying that, and that is a very objective way to look at it. There is, I know it sounds a little cliche when you say it out loud, but there's an economic impact that the Bombers do create from this city. Every game, I'm amazed at the people I talk to coming from far, out of state, clearly out of county, to come and catch a game and to experience the stadium. So there is a level of economic impact, because I think what's going to be inevitable, I don't know exact numbers. I know that a proposed lease increase was presented for Southridge baseball as well. And so, when someone asked me about that, and this is no knock against Southridge baseball, but I think the difference between the Bombers and that, and we have clear data to back it up, is just how we reinvest money back into the stadium with things like the upper deck. I mean, we've spent thousands of our own dollars painting areas of the stadium, like the bathroom, that drink rail that's on the third base side that fans enjoy at high school games and Bombers games. We paid for that. That was almost $8,000. So we've always invested a lot of money back into the stadium, and we always will. We will, but with such a significant increase to the lease, when all of our other costs are going up, it's going to make it hard for us to continue to want or be able to reinvest back into the stadium in a lot of the ways that we do. So again, I'm only sharing that because I think that is a big difference between our program and the high school program. Is there any questions I can answer for you guys? Again, was not expecting a vote on it, but we just wanted to come and establish our position and be available to answer any questions.
I think we just need a proposed plan from you, Justin, of what you think is reasonable,
Okay.
doable. Okay. I will say that 8 years that I've been on this board, we have a lot of changes right now in our state and the funding that we're getting from the state, and every lease agreement, everything's going up, rental. And I think but what I've experienced is that at the end of the year, when we have money left, we look at things like adding pickleball or adding, what can we add to League Stadium? So we do want to cushion ourselves. And I think that is where Jace has kind of proposed some changes in all of our lease agreements so that we don't get in a bind with all the changes that are coming from state level too. But, and then looking at the end of the year, because I think we have always agreed a lot of times with the Bombers to join on what's been proposed for upgrades as well. And so I hope that regardless of that, we'll, at the end of the year, maybe find that, hey, we're ahead of the game. We did this well, and maybe we can, jump into adding some more to the stadium, as we did this year with the hallway. That was kind of a fun, big addition that we were able to contribute to from the city's point. But yeah, what would you propose?
Like pricing wise?
Yes.
Increase wise.
Yeah, a couple of options. Option one, if you guys wanted to do a longer term to show our commitment, increase the rent by $1,000 each year over the course of 5 years, shows growth on your end every year, shows good faith in our partnership. Keep we didn't even talk about the revenue share, the gift shop from the revenue share. With that, we'd be okay with keeping the 5% of the gift shop revenue. It needs to be, I think, clarified in the agreement to be a net amount, not a gross. A gross sales doesn't seem fair, makes sense. So that would be option one. Option two, increase the rent by $2,500 next year, right? So again, going from 10 to 12.5, and then $1,000 per year for 4 years after that. This is proposing a 5-year term. If you guys come back only wanting 3, I would understand that. But again, a little bit more next year, a little bit less, but consistently the year after that. So $2,500 next year, $1,000 each year after that for 4 years. Remove the gift shop revenue share completely from the contract. To be honest, I don't really want to get too much into that, but I can't find it in the contract. I went through everything from Phil Schneider in the contract. The last 2 copies of the contracts, the gift shop revenue share wasn't in there. We've continued to pay it on our end. I couldn't find any kind of an addendum. I don't know if it's out there, but again, option one, keeping it. Option two, removing it. Again, these were what I think are more reasonable and fair, especially when you realize we're coming off of a 4-year term, and especially when you look at what the average increase being a little under 5% for commercial leases. So that's how I came up with those numbers.
So the one where you're, sorry, my voice is about gone, but the one where you want to take the gift shop percentage off, because I've always wanted to get rid of that myself, because I think it's more work
Yeah.
on your guys' part that's not necessary. So you're saying that for next year, you'd go up 2,500 and then
Mhm.
1,000 after that for,
Yeah.
you're wanting to do a 5-year.
Yeah. So for example, next year would be 12.5, then the year after that would be 13.5, then 14.5, then 15.5. And then dropping the gift shop revenue share from the contract. And again, these were just 2 options because I wanted to present options for you guys to just look at, and that'll give you an idea of kind of how we're looking at it.
Can I ask how much
Mhm.
5% even net price would be from the gift shop?
I have to go through and look. The check that we sent in with it was right around, I think, $1,350 or $1,400 was the check that you guys got along with the lease. It's interesting because we can't find it, and I was under the impression that the agreement we had with the previous mayor was that it was actually for 3%. My wife was laughing and joking and said, no, it's actually 4%. And then one of the last correspondence I have with the city was, no, it's actually 5%. And so in due diligence, and I can show you copies of the contracts I had received from Phil. There was no mention of anything in the gift shop, anything in the contract, the lease agreement for gift shop revenue, but we've been writing it anyways. We were grateful for it. It was being built right when we came in. It doubled the size. We had a couple of windows added to it, so we didn't have a huge problem. It's just as we've grown into it, I don't know that it makes a lot of sense. But we're open to using that as as part of the agreement if it's something that you guys still feel strongly about.
Is there any way we can get copies of your proposals or?
Yeah, I can email them. Would it be convenient if I emailed them to Kinley and then she can distribute them to your guy?
Yep.
And again, just hoping you guys will at least consider it. But are there any other questions that I could help answer?
I don't think so.
And full transparency, if it comes together, we are wanting to bring a couple of new big specialty games back to the stadium next year, but we are wanting to do them within the term of our agreement. So the Big League Baseball Classic, we are tentatively planning on bringing it back, but doing it during the Bomber season. So meaning versus doing it a week or 2 weeks after our lease ends, we're trying to squeeze that plus a really big Peaches versus Bells baseball game that we're currently working on. And these are two big events. They're not Bombers games, but again, we want to do them during the season, and we think they could have pretty huge draw. For any Cardinals fans out there, we've got Ozzie Smith on board, so I think that would be fun for the community to get him down here and to be a part of it. So just wanted to be transparent about that.
Can I ask how much the baseball team, I can't remember what that was raised to. How much was that? Do you remember?
Southridge?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
It's in the minutes.
Yeah, where's the minute?
It's out that was raised 4,000,
It was raised to what?
4,000, I think.
So from 8 to,
12, 8 to 12, I believe.
So,
But they also don't get full access to everything in the facility, so,
they don't.
no.
meaning like the,
I think maybe he's referring to like the gift shop and then the
Gift
office.
shop, the
Gotcha.
office, yeah, there's a couple storage areas that the Bombers have stuff stored in that can't be utilized for anything else.
And we talked a little bit, Jason and I, about the Bombers office. I mean, anyone that wants to borrow or use the office, if the high school coaches wanted to use our office, we're fine with that. I think some people don't realize, like, we let RWB, we let that event use the office. Herbst Fest has used our office. When they ask, anytime someone says, "Can we borrow your office?" we always say yes, and we always will, unless it's a group that we just don't know anyone who's in that group. But we'll continue to make the office available for anyone that wants to borrow it for any of their special events.
If you don't mind, can I add one more comment on?
Mhm.
I know costs are going up for you guys and for the Bombers. And the thing I always keep in mind is that if we have a rain out on a weekend, on a large weekend, that's the difference between making a profit for the year and not, and just meeting expenses for us. The rainouts on a big carpet weekend night is devastating. So we're at Mother Nature. And so I understand Justin's need to gradually increase it, rather kind of buffer it. So if you haven't, last summer we had how many rainouts?
We say 5, it was 4.5. Essentially, it was 4.5. But two of those rainouts, complete rainouts, were weekend games, which are, for all the obvious reasons, are absolutely killer. So
Yeah.
4.5 games that got rained out.
So it's really kind of a buffer to gradually increase it in case you have another season like that or a couple bad rainouts. So that's just another angle that we're coming from here. So.
You guys got any other questions?
Any other questions for myself or Mike?
is there anything else you guys need to make a decision? Are you wanting to table it for the next time, or what are you wanting to do?
And again, I can send sort of my counter proposal for you guys to consider. I can email those to Kinley so that she can get those to you to really look over, if that would be helpful.
I mean, I'll leave it up to you guys. If you want to make a decision, we can make a decision right now, or we can.
I don't think we need to make a decision right now. I'd rather
Yeah.
have a further discussion on it and then maybe push it off to the next meeting. But I think we need to discuss a little bit further.
Okay.
I appreciate your guys' time. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Justin.
Justin.
Hang on a sec. I gotta back up. I missed the meeting, the minutes and the claims.
Okay.
Did you guys have a chance to look over last month's notes?
Yeah,
I forgot to approve the minutes and claims.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
All in favor?
I already did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Same with the claims.
I'll motion to approve them as submitted.
I'll second.
First and second, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Okay. Sorry, we're a little bit out of order.
No, you're fine. Kinley, I'm gonna have him go first. Just state your name and what you're here for.
I'm David Wayne, Matthias, as you know. And I'm here today as a concerned citizen, taxpayer, and veteran. I've lived here all my life and grew up down there a block from the stadium. Love those shows. Love those shows. Seen the Toby Keith concerts way back then. However, I have some veterans and friends that are asking me some things that I really don't know. Well, that's why I'm here today. For one, our concerns is there a fee when the red, white, and brown come in here? Are they paying a fee enough to cover the cost? For instance, for the wear and tear of our stadium, including water, sewer, and electric. Do they pay a fee for that?
No.
What was that?
This last year they did not.
No.
They did. The only thing is that they donated shoes to the kids.
We'll get to that in a minute.
All right.
Does the city get a cut of ticket sales, including concessions and alcohol?
No, not this year. We did not.
For the red, white, and brown.
I'd like to know what they give back to our community. Can you tell us that?
Maybe shoes, wouldn't it?
Well, you are a representative of the veterans, so we're under the understanding that some of it goes to the veterans. Is that not the case?
Well, let's just say it's not being very transparent,
Okay,
okay?
well, we need to know that,
Yeah.
but we know about the shoes.
Mm-hmm. And we have, I have veteran buddies that live in town and go to the VA, but never once been approached about any help getting there, which we understand that that's supposed to be one of the things that they provide as well. My concern is as we have a third party coming in from out of town, making money using our facility. And I see it's advertised as they're coming back again. Has that been a voted on thing already?
We have not voted on it
Nope.
yet.
But we see advertising they're coming.
Yep. We've reached out to them and they've yet to reach back out to us.
What does our town benefit from what they do here?
Well, I believe, I mean, obviously it brings a large crowd. And I've asked a lot of the same questions you
Mhm.
have, and that's why
Mhm.
I'm usually the devil's advocate on this board because I'm asking those same questions. So kind of like how we were presented, you know, with Justin and the Bombers, obviously there's a lot
Mhm.
revenue brought in, a lot of people go out to eat and, you know, we like to believe that every event that we have in our parks brings in out of towners and that our whole city benefits from that.
When is your next meeting?
It is gonna be
January.
on because of the holiday, because of Martin Luther King Day. It will be Tuesday, January 20th.
We'll come back and share more with you then. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so moving on, we got a special event application for One Nation League of their own Tournament of Champions.
Yes, so kind of the same thing as last year. I'm just here representing because they live in Ohio, can't make it to a meeting. So same thing as last year, except they're wanting to play on Friday night as well. So bring people down to the stadium on Friday night and then have a whole day of play on Saturday. I let them know of the park fees. They mentioned that they would like donated, however that is your guys' call.
Was this the
Um,
slow pitch that was
yes.
here earlier
Yes.
this year?
Yes.
Oh, this is the one during Herbst Fest.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any
Was there-
questions?
So.
Was complaint about the field being torn up, correct?
Yes, so they play from 70 feet, which is basically playing in our infield. Yes, we had to repair it, so there is money stuck into it afterwards. It was a good turnout apparently, but if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna up, my opinion, if we're going to up everybody else's contracts, we need to hold firm on our prices because they're really not that outrageous. So.
No,
But-
because
but
for them
does
to
the-
use this wouldn't be that.
Does the
Wouldn't
fee
be that
cover the,
expensive.
No.
what they tore up? Does the fee cover up what they tore up?
It probably would have, yeah.
And we have the fee and then the damage deposit as
But
well.
one thing I
So-
do ask, if we can make a motion or something that they have to play from 90 feet in
Oh,
this
what fee?
tournament to keep them out of the grass.
Has that been presented to them? I mean, like, would they?
In our meeting afterwards, I had mentioned something about possibly, depending on whether, if they would go to 90 feet, and they did not say no to it.
Mhm.
So you mean so they don't tear stuff up?
Quite a bit
Yeah.
difference. That's a big difference. I mean,
Or even if we would move it to like just outside the edge of the grass kind of thing, so that we're not tearing the infield up.
yeah.
Because there's been a lot of money stuck into that infield this last year, so.
So first off, we need to make a motion to approve this one. Special event.
But we have to, are we charging them? Is that what?
I mean, that's up to you guys, but that, I mean, if we're gonna sit here and charge everybody else, I think it's only fair to,
I can't remember what is a new fee for.
It's $400 for an entire game of baseball or entire day of baseball.
So
And then
800.
there's a $200 refundable damage deposit, I believe.
So 800 is what they're looking at for 2 days?
I mean, I don't think that's unreasonable.
Do they make ticket sales? Do they do?
No, it's a completely free event.
$100 a day and 200.
So
deposit.
$1,000.
Yeah, refundable damage deposit, yeah. I believe,
I think that sounds right.
yeah.
I mean, that's up to you guys. I just don't
Are
think
they
that's.
playing all day Friday? Do you
No,
know?
just the evening. It would just be one game on Friday.
Eh.
But you guys also have, like, you guys could make a different price for Friday if that's what you would want to do.
So just one game Friday and then all day Saturday.
well,
So-
but that's also Herbst Fest weekend, right?
Yes.
So Herbst Fest might want to be able to use it too. So
And
we
they want
can't,
it, yeah, they want the same, okay.
we don't know that yet without them coming, if
I
they
said-
want to use it.
If they keep the same format as they did last year, they did everything on the outside of League Stadium for the most part. Like the stage and stuff,
Mhm.
like the little mists and all that stuff was on the outside, which I think was very well taken. I think more people attended because you could eat your food in front of the picnic tables and watch the little mists and the, like, you know what I mean? Cause I mean, if I don't have a kid or anybody that I know, I wasn't going into those contests. So I know that they had more people observing with it on the outside. So I'm just saying, like, I guess we could ask them, but I would say they would probably keep the same format that they did last year.
So we're talking a full day and a game.
So can we not charge, instead of charge them for a full day, didn't we have a per game price?
We didn't anymore, we used to, but
No, because I think the thing was is if you're gonna rent it out for one game, that means you can't rent it out to anybody else.
That's true.
So
oh,
you would have to hold the day
because
for
they're
them.
setting it up and everything
Mhm.
else, yeah. Do you know, so that's the same setup as last year, right? So did they come in halfway through the day or does anybody know?
No, they come in very early.
So they
on
are
Saturday
there
morning.
all-
They're all there all day from,
Friday too, though.
Now,
oh, Friday, no,
Friday
it would just be the evening.
Friday, they
One
didn't show
game.
up till like, what, 3 or 4 in the afternoon, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it would just
Right.
be like, probably start at 5. I think they said they would want to play a night game on Friday.
Okay.
But-
So I guess the question becomes, would we adjust that price to,
I'm gonna say, what is the question is tearing up the field or are they asking for it to have it free?
They are asking to have it for free.
Oh, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
So what if instead of charging them
what about,
2 days, why don't we just charge them for Saturday?
or 500, 400, and then the,
Yeah.
half, basically they need it half day on a Friday to set up and,
If they don't come in till 3 or 4 in the afternoon on
Right.
Friday, I think 500 would be fine. A little bit for Friday and then the regular price for Saturday.
and it evens
So
it
that would
out.
cover any damages, wouldn't it?
Yes, that would at least
That's-
help,
yeah.
yes.
That's my
Along-
main concern is that we're not giving away the farm and then running out of money because we're not charging these people.
Right.
Yeah, we're not trying to make, and we're just trying to keep
At
it
least,
above
break
water.
even, I mean,
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like your suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna, a motion to approve the event with a $500 rental fee and bases being kept at,
Preferably out of the grass infield.
or
So
at
that
least you want the
might be able to get them to 80
baseline,
feet.
you want the baseline out of the,
Yeah, out of the grass, if possible. You'll still have some wear and tear, but it won't be near as bad.
okay, so
That's your motion?
I'm motioning to approve the event with the $500 rental fee and the $200 refundable deposit. And the baseline being kept out of the infield grass. Yep. Anyone want to second that? Does that sound good?
Yep, that sounds good.
Second?
I will. I'll
Okay.
second.
Got a first and second, all in favor?
Kenley.
Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Thank you, Kenley.
Yeah.
You don't have to rush off.
What?
You don't have to rush off. No, go ahead. I'm just picking on you.
Okay. So, these next items, the Kinley and Andrea and Shelley have been doing a wonderful job of helping us transition with the, getting into hopefully our new, director, senior director here soon. We got one more, interview and then we'll be able to, decide on who we want. But in the meantime, the girls have been awesome helping me. They went out and got some donations for the Christmas party that we're having this week, Thursday at the Senior Center. So the first one we'll have to approve and accept for donations is $100 check from RG Mechanical for the Senior Center.
So do we need to motion each one individual?
Yes, yes, we have to approve each one of them.
I'll motion accept it.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Okay. The next one is donations from Touch of Class. They gave us 60 stockings valued at $50 per stocking for a total of $3,000.
That's awesome.
That is nice.
I will motion to approve that.
And there is a picture in there of them too.
Oh, cool.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Uh,
They were $72.
the next one is donations from McDonald's. They did gift cards, the value, I think they're $50 a gift card. Up to $500, I think was the total.
It's really nice too.
I'll motion to approve that.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Let me ask you a question before we go any further. Did we get any of these donations last year or the year before, or the year before? How come all of a sudden now we're getting these donations?
Yeah, I wondered too.
Effort.
Yeah.
Did you go out and Somebody go out and ask for them?
Yes, so the girls went out, I went out, they wrote letters and we sent letters
Oh,
out.
Oh,
good.
that's awesome.
So yeah,
Appreciate
we're
that. I mean,
we're putting in a lot more effort on that end on trying to bring in donations. to
Well,
the
I think
park.
it's great.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I
So
mean, it's-
these go to the seniors that are participant at the senior center, correct?
Yes.
The ones who come to these events, I'm sure they appreciate all of that.
Did you see the bills for the senior citizen? We paid, we signed TVs and food and all kinds of stuff going on out there.
So I tried to use as much of the donation fund as I could.
No, I mean, I think it's
So-
great. I was wondering, I saw the
Mhm.
minutes before. Is how come all of a sudden these are starting to come in? I thought somebody must have went out and
Yeah.
talked to people or beat the
Oh.
bushes or something. I mean,
Yeah.
I wondered the
Yeah.
same, and that the new facility is being used now.
Yes,
Right.
we are officially moved out there. Yes.
Well, hopefully it's something they can all be proud of and they'll continue to grow with others coming.
Yes.
Yeah. picking up
Yep.
the
Do you have
attendance.
a new director yet?
We do not. We have one more interview and then we're gonna make a decision after that. So, yep. We were hoping to have that done already, but she ended up getting sick, so we had to push it off.
Okay.
Let's see here.
We have another one too.
5.6?
Okay.
Yeah, Steinkamps.
Donation from Steinkamps, gift cards, total value of $100, senior center.
A motion to approve.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And then the last thing on the agenda that I have is the southeast playground update. That's the one that's on the southeast corner behind the girls softball field that we were moving from up top of the hill down. And the swing set, according to the guy that I've been working with at Game Time, was in good condition yet. So we wanted to incorporate that into that playground. So the cost went up a little bit for the turf and stuff for installation. So. But.
So this is where the current park is right now, the one with like the climbing wall. Is that where it would be, or would you move it again?
It's, yeah, the south side, bathrooms. In front of that, there was a merry-go-round
Yeah,
and a climbing wall.
that's where that would stay.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
it's being moved, but it's staying in that
Same area.
playground, yeah. So there will be a swing set within the playground.
How much did their quote increase?
I wanna, I don't have the original quote on me, but
Is there still enough money left over that we can still?
yes. Yep, and then I know there's a new dimension drawing to kind of show you how it's getting incorporated. And like a lot of this on these quotes, like the park is digging the infrastructure around, laying the rock, and the company is really just coming in and putting the turf down and installing the equipment, so.
So would that reduce the price of that or no?
So you need us to approve this quote or?
Yes,
So the more you do this, like Abby said, will it be cheaper if you do some of this? Or is this just, the price is just everything that,
What are we approving? Which price?
so you're approving the turf, the install, and the relocation of the two swings,
So just those.
oh, the bottom three there.
yeah. Because the money was already set aside for the playground equipment. That's already been bought. And that's actually in the final pricing. That's just how they do their proposals. So,
So about 80-some thousand.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make the motion to approve the turf installation and the relocation.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Especially
Okay.
if we have the money left over from senior citizens. I mean, it's not really coming out of our budget per se, but
Right, yeah, no, so we do have, the RDC did put that in there to use in 2025, but we are going to have that put back for 2026 too, so. Yeah, if we don't get to paying it in time, which I don't think we met that, so it'll be there for 2026 to use. Yep. Next meeting, I think we agreed was January 20th, 2026. That's all I got.
Well, and one last thing before we adjourn, I just wanted to thank you for your time on here, Shannon. I don't know if you guys knew that this is her last meeting,
Thank you.
and it's been a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you. I
This is
appreciate
your
all you
last
guys.
meeting?
No, that's her last
Mhm.
meeting.
Me.
you coming back?
You're the secretary next month.
No, this
Oh,
is,
you're in trouble.
this is her
You
last
might
This
be
is
meeting.
my
back?
term.
Huh?
Nope.
Sorry to
Maybe in
hear
the
that.
future.
Sorry to hear that.
I wanted to thank you because
Yeah.
it's been the same board since I got on, so
I
now
know, right?
now that you're getting off, I'm not the young gun
No,
anymore.
I know.
But I just wanted to thank you for your
Thank you. I
time
appreciate
on
that.
here.
Yeah, we all
Appreciate
appreciate it
I
Yep.
enjoyed all of you guys
most of the time.
Most-
all the time.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Let's see.
We're almost the same time as last time.